Hi and welcome to this BuyBotPro video. So I'm going to talk you through how BuyBotPro works and how you can analyse online arbitrage deals, wholesale deals, and you can do manual sourcing with BuyBotPro, and you can even manage your VAs as well. So let's get stuck in. So when you go into an Amazon page, BuyBotPro will load automatically down the side of your page like this. So the first thing to do is, let's just say that we could source this product for £10. All right, so the first thing to do is put £10 or $10. I'm only using pounds because I'm based in the UK. Obviously, if you're in the US, that would straight away come up in dollars for you. So let's say I put in £10, and then I click analyze, or I can hit return on my keyboard. And then what BuyBotPro has done is, in those couple of seconds that you saw it analyze that deal, it has looked at thousands of data points to analyze the deal for you and decide whether it is something that it thinks is potentially a good buy for you for online arbitrage. So let me take you through each of the functions and how it all works. So this up here is a customer panel wheel, and I'll show you that in a little while. We'll come back to that shortly. So as you saw, you enter your price in here, and you enter your price inclusive of VAT if you're in the UK. Now, if you ever have any queries about what BuyBotPro is doing, there's lots of these little tooltips all over the place. So you can hover over those and it will tell you all about what that function is in BuyBotPro. Now, it will automatically populate the sell price for you based on the current buy box price. So that's what will automatically populate here. Now, EFN is for people in Europe. So if you're in the UK and you're selling into Europe and you want to sell this into a European place, then obviously you'd need to click that on, because it will change the fees for you and look at the fees for shipping into Europe. If you're in the US, you can completely ignore that function. This function is whether you're selling MF or FBA. So if you're fulfilling the products yourself, or if you're selling them into Amazon. BuyBotPro assumes that you're sending them into Amazon, but if you want to fulfill the products yourself, then you can toggle that on, and obviously it changes the fees for you. This is a bundle option. So a bundle is when you buy, for instance, a product is for sale on Amazon of a pack of 3, but you buy them individually from the retailer or the wholesaler. So you're then putting them together to make a bundle. Now, a bundle will often, it won't change the cost in terms of your Amazon fees and your analysis generally of the deal. But what it will do is, if you are using a prep center, potentially that will add on extra in terms of your cost to prep those products. And when we go through the customer panel up here, which we'll do shortly, then I'll show you what the difference that this will make. So this is the analyze button and how you ask BuyBotPro to analyze a deal. And here you can see it auto populates the ASIN. So you can hover over that, and straight away you've got some extra information in here. So you've got your category, you've got your weight, you've got your dimensions of your product, which are obviously really important to know in terms of shipping and such like. It will straight away tell you whether Amazon is selling in the last 90 days. And that's really important because it can make a lot of difference. For some sellers prefer not to compete against Amazon. So straight away you can see there really easily. And it tells you whether Amazon is currently in the buy box. And if you come down here, this is a BSR % predictor. Now, BSR is the bestseller rank, and that comes in a number or in a percent. So if it's a 1%, so if it's in the top 1% of selling products, it will say 1%. It will give you a BSR number, and obviously the lower the BSR number, the better. So 246 is a very, very quick selling product. Obviously, number 1 is the best in that category. But some categories go up to millions of products. So 246 is still a very low BSR. Now, what BuyBotPro does is there's lots of very, very clever algorithms built into BuyBotPro. So it's looked at all the data, and it is then going to predict for you, and this is what this is, it's a predictor, what the BSR is going to do in the future. So BuyBotPro predicts that this is going to stay a 1% deal. And obviously that's really important to know, because you don't want to buy a product that has sold really well because it's I don't know, a bikini and it's sold well in summer, and come September sales are going to drop off a cliff. So it's a really good idea, and BuyBotPro will look at all of that. So it will look at data over a very long period to establish whether it thinks it will stay in the 1% category. Now here you've got eligibility. I'm not logged into an Amazon Seller Central account, which is why it says login. If I was logged into an Amazon Seller Central account, that would say, yes, you can sell the product and you're eligible, or it would say, no, you can't sell the product. Now it gets that information because up here you need to be logged in on a separate tab to your Seller Central, and you need to make sure it's your Seller Central and not a personal Amazon account that you're logged into. So as long as you're logged into your Seller Central, BuyBotPro can ask Amazon, can this person sell this product? And Amazon will say yes or no. And then BuyBotPro will tell you the answer. Now, if the answer is no, BuyBotPro is very clever and it will ask if you'd like it to try and auto ungate you. So auto ungating is where Amazon allow you to request permission to sell in a category that's normally gated, but they don't require you to send in invoices and all that sort of stuff. There's no process to go through. So BuyBotPro will give you the option to try an auto ungate. You can click yes, try and auto ungate it. BuyBotPro will go away for a couple of seconds. It will ask Amazon if they'll be kind enough to please auto ungate you. And then Amazon will say yes or Amazon will say no. And then BuyBotPro will come back and tell you the answer. So it's a great way of managing to ungate as much as you can without having to go through the ungating process. Now, obviously, there will be some categories where Amazon say no. You've got to go through a process because you've got to provide documentation for the products and such like. But still, there's a lot of things that you can get auto ungated. So it's definitely worth using that. So here we have an IP radar. Now, obviously, IP complaints are a challenge for Amazon sellers if you're doing OA. But we have a sister company that deals with suspensions. So they've got a lot of inside information about what brands cause issues for sellers and what brands don't. And we've programmed all of that inside knowledge into BuyBotPro. And here BuyBotPro will tell you whether it thinks there's a problem or not. So this one, there's no known PL issues. So this one is okay as long as you're ungated, you can sell it. But if it comes up yellow, it means that you need to do some extra due diligence because there are things that BuyBotPro has flagged that may be an issue. For instance, BuyBotPro will flag it if there's only one other FBA seller. Then BuyBotPro will flag that and tell you that you need to go and do some more investigation. Now, on certain brands where we know they don't cause a problem, BuyBotPro won't flag it as yellow if it comes up like that. So all of that information has all been programmed into BuyBotPro. Now, if BuyBotPro comes up red, we would strongly suggest you do not sell that product because that means we know for a fact that it has caused IP issues on people's accounts. So if it's red, we would strongly suggest you don't sell it. So here's Hazmat, and this works in exactly the same way as the eligible one. So if I was logged into an Amazon account, it would come up and say yes or no, whether it's Hazmat or not. And the reason I've not logged into an Amazon account is because the Amazon account is quite new and it comes up with everything's not eligible, and that then affects the score because, of course, if you're not eligible to sell something, you know, it's not a good deal. So that's why I've left it like this for this demonstration video. So here it will tell you whether it's likely to be an oversized product or not. So here BuyBotPro is telling you that that's unlikely to be the case. And this is a great little feature. So this is buy box analysis. So BuyBotPro has had a look at the buy box and who's been selling the product, and it will tell you whether Amazon are likely to share the buy box. So it will tell you whether there's little or no evidence of Amazon sharing the buy box. You know, we might say that Amazon's not actually on the listing, so it's not relevant. Here it's telling you that Amazon have shared the buy box on occasion during the last 90 days, although not quite regularly as us third-party sellers might like. And then this end one will tell you that Amazon regularly share the buy box, and that's the one we ideally like to see. So this one's good, this one's excellent. Okay, so SPQ I'm going to come back to in a little while. That's suggested purchase quantity. And that will make much more sense when I talk you through this wheel up here. So I'm going to come back to this one in a little while. And then here BuyBotPro's done some maths for you. So you can see you've got your profit margin done. This tells you your break-even price. So this is the price that you could sell the product at and not lose or win financially. You've got your total costs here, and you can hover over those to see what those total costs are. So you've got all your different Amazon fees, you've got your referral fee and your closing fee, your storage fees, and it bases it on 1 month storage fees, and your FBA fulfillment fees. You've got EFM fees if you're selling into Europe, and then you've got some other fees that are controlled via the wheel that we're going to go into shortly. And then you've got your ROI, which obviously it's important to know what your return on investment is, and your profit is obviously key to know as well. And then this export function we're going to cover next, but I'm just going to jump that for a second and go to the BuyBotPro score. Now this is where BuyBotPro comes into its own. There is nothing like anything like BuyBotPro on the market that's analysing a deal like this. BuyBotPro looks at thousands of data points. It's not just looking at 10 or 12 data points. It's looking at thousands of data points. BuyBotPro can analyse an online arbitrage deal better than most OAers. So it will have a look at all those different data points and then it will score the deal for you. And if you hover over it, it will tell you that why it's given it positive and negative. It will tell you why it's given it the score it's given it, and give you clues about what you need to look at. So this FB's got a lot of sellers, or medium amount of sellers at 12. It wants you to look at the sell price and make sure you're happy with that because it's a little bit unstable and it's got amazing sales. So BuyBotPro is generally happy with the deal. Obviously, you should always do your own due diligence. That's really important. But BuyBot, this is so clever. This will look into, it will tell you whether, like if I put in here like £136, this score would go down massively because BuyBotPro would recognise that that sell price is just not achievable. So it would say, you can't get that sell price. That's not achievable. You're in crazy cuckoo land. And it will tell you. So it's very, very clever. It works out everything to do with the deal. Okay, so let me come back to this export function and we're going to cover the wheel and the export function now. So what the export function does, it allows you to copy all the information from BuyBotPro into a spreadsheet. Now, obviously, when you're doing online arbitrage, you need to keep good records of everything that you're doing and the price you're paying for stuff and all that sort of thing. So BuyBotPro makes that super easy by adding this export function. So let me show you how that works. Okay, so if we go into the wheel here, I'll take this old one out. This is just an old Google Sheets ID. So if I go up here, I've just done a brand new, completely empty spreadsheet. So let me take that URL and I'll go into BuyBotPro and I'll paste that URL in there. And I'll come back to all these other bits in a minute. And then let's click save. So BuyBotPro's now saved that. And now if I come along here and click copy to my buy sheet, you can see that BuyBotPro tells you it's copied it to the sheet. And if we come up here, BuyBotPro has copied all the information on the deal into the buy sheet. Now obviously you need to add your headings in and such like, so you know what's what. But let's say that you don't want your information in this order. Let's say you like the ASIN and the title swapped around. You'll want to swap it all around to suit you. But let's just say you're working on the ASIN and the title. So let's come back here. What we can do is we go back into the wheel. And you can click here and click customize. And you can see that you can change things around. So let's say we want that there and we want that in column B. And then we click OK and we save it. And then we copy it to our buy sheet again. If we come back into our buy sheet, you can see column A and column B have been swapped around. So you can customize it completely for however you want to be able to have your buy sheet, which is an awesome feature and saves you so much time. So that's how the export function. If you wanted to add a source URL in here, you could as well. And then when BuyBotPro exports it for you, it will also add in the source information into your sheet for you. Okay, so in here, let's go through the settings page. So here you've got your prep fee. Now this is where this bundle one comes into account that I talked about earlier. So you've got a prep fee. Let's say your prep centre charges you, I don't know, $1 or £1 or 50 cents or whatever it is, 50p, whatever it is. So let's say it's £1. And let's say they charge you an extra 50p if you're going to have it so that they can do it for you. So what will happen is when you click that bundle switch, then it will add these two together because most prep fees add on an extra charge when you do a bundle. And when you don't have that that ticked like that, it will just do the £1 for the prep fee. So that's what that's doing. That bundle switch is making BuyBotPro add these together for you to work out the total fee for a bundle. So you've got extra fees that you can put in here if you want to use this. So this is for dollars or pounds or euros, whatever it is you're using. And then you've got a percentage in here if you want to add in an extra percentage. So this is the Google Sheets that we've been through already. Okay, now these two are linked to the stock capital and the max buy count. They are linked to the SPQ that we talked about when we were here. Do you remember this suggested purchase quantity that I mentioned? So if you put in your stock capital, so how much money you've got to spend on your stock, and the maximum you like to spend on any one product, not pounds as in terms of unit numbers. So if you only like to ever buy 10 of something, then you'd put 10 in there, and you'd put whatever your stock capital is in there. And then BuyBotPro would look at how good the deal was, look at your budget and how many you like to buy, and suggest a purchase quantity. Now, obviously, you should use a human brain on this as well, but it will do a lot of the thinking for you in terms of just how many of these should I buy based on how good a deal that is. So if you change your capital, it will obviously change how many it thinks you should buy. And it will never suggest more than 10% of your stock capital is spent on any one deal. So it's clever. It just helps you to have a think about how many you want to buy of any one deal. So you've got your shipping cost here. So obviously you've got to potentially ship the products from your house or your prep center into Amazon. You're going to pay a fee for that. So you can add that, and you can work it out based on per kilo or per pound, whatever suits you best. So just work that out and add that in. So then BuyBotPro will automatically say, oh, the product weighs this much, I will add this much in for the shipping cost. So here's just some toggles that you can turn on and off, so you can customize BuyBotPro to be however you want to do. So this is the BuyBotPro Island, which we'll go through shortly. The VA toolbox, which we'll go through a bit later, but if you've not got VAs, then you might want to switch that off so it doesn't show all the time. And we've got some graphs that I'll show you as well, and then you can toggle those on and off here depending on what you like to see. So if we continue down the page, you've got VAT status. So if you are in the UK, you need to choose whether you're not VAT registered, standard accounting or flat rate scheme. If you're in the US, then you can choose not applicable US sellers. And then BuyBotPro will work out your whole VAT liability based on your deal. And it doesn't just work out the VAT based on Amazon fees, it works out all your input and your output VAT as well. So it's very, very clever in working out the maths for the VAT for you. And this element of BuyBotPro is managed by UK accountants, not by us, you're pleased to know. So it is 100% correct in terms of VAT compliance. Okay, if we continue down, we've got criteria here. Now, this score that BuyBotPro gives you is a Joe average analysis of a OA deal. Now, it's a very good analysis. It's been put together from sellers with many years worth of experience of analysing online arbitrage deals. So you're basically getting all that experience from all those sellers built into BuyBotPro for you. However, when you're advanced, you may have specifics that you are looking for in your deals, and you can control that here. So you can say, oh, I only want £15 in profit, or I only want, bigger BSRs, or, or you want return on investment, whatever it is that is right for you for your deal, you can do that. And then when you save it, BuyBotPro will change this score to be very specific to exactly what you've asked. So for instance, if you came up here and you said, I only want £30 profit, you won't find many deals. But if you did that, BuyBotPro would change this to red. And it would say it doesn't meet your criteria because your criteria is £30 or $30 in profit. And this is only 17. So you can make it very specific to you. But if you leave those just empty, then BuyBotPro will be very clever anyway. And this is, built into this, as I say, is a lot of years worth of experience of analysing online arbitrage deals. So you've got a very good analysis if you just leave those blank. But if you want to do your own thing, you can too. And you can also click here and choose whether you want fast sellers or mid-range, you know, high profit, whatever it is that you're looking for. If you put it back to criteria, it will just reset it back to the beginning, and you'll be relying on those years of experience of those OA sellers to analyse the deal for you. Okay, so down here is Profit Protector Pro. Now, Profit Protector Pro is a repricer, and it is linked into BuyBotPro. So if you have both, the two talk to each other to make it super easy for you. If you don't have Profit Protector Pro, then you can just ignore this at the bottom. So let's continue down. Right, so BuyBotPro, you've got estimated sales calculator. So BuyBotPro's looked at all the sales for the products. And if you hover over the middle one, you'll get it broken down for you for a year by months. You can look back at the previous 90-day average. And here's another really, really clever algorithm built into BuyBotPro that it's going to predict what's going to happen over the next 90 days as well. So it gives you lots and lots of information about, you know, what happens and how the sales happen to help you make a good decision. So if we can continue down, you've got your competition analysis here. So this is going to tell you all about the top 10 sellers. So you've got the seller position, you've got their stock level, and if you hover over it, it will tell you who each person is as well. If it's green, it means it's an FBA Prime seller. If it's orange, it is Amazon. If it's grey like this, it's an MF seller. And then there's a blue as well for Seller Fulfilled Prime. And you've got your prices of all your competitors here. You can see their review count and their percentage of positive feedback as well. So you've got all the information you need there to be able to make good decisions based on competition, who your competition is. And if we can continue down here, this tells you the total top 10 sellers. So this is giving you the total of the stock. So basically it's just added up this line for you and giving you the total. And it tells you how many in total, how many prime sellers are on the listing and how many MF sellers are on the listing. So it will give you that number in total. So if we continue down here, if you're in the UK and selling into Europe or looking at Europe, you can go here and have a look at different information that shows up here. So this is for the UK. You can see you've got UK information there. And you've got Italy, France, Spain and Germany. And what you can do is you can hover over these and BuyBotPro will load you a keeper chart for that particular country. So very quickly you can see what's selling and what isn't and what's happening in that country, which makes it super easy. And if you click there, that will take you off to that page. So it'll take you to the Italian one or the French one or whatever you click. Okay, so let's keep coming down. VA Toolbox. This is a whole feature on itself, and there is actually software out there that does just this, but that we've built it into BuyBotPro. But I'm going to come back to this in a little while, because first I'm going to talk you through the charts, which is part of the main part of BuyBotPro. And then you've got, as we talked about, Profit Protector Pro for those of you that have it. And also you've got a link down here for videos, and there's lots and lots of BuyBotPro training videos there. So you can click on there, and some of them are only a couple of minutes long. It literally just talks about one feature of BuyBotPro. So if you've got a query on one feature, you can just click there and see lots of videos on lots of different areas of BuyBotPro. So let's go through these charts and let me talk you through how they work. So straight away, whenever you analyse a deal, BuyBotPro will load this chart. This is a BuyBotPro chart. It will give you the FBA price, which is the purple-ish line, this one here. It will show you where Amazon's in stock. These are the big orange or yellowy blocks. It will show you the new price, which is without postage and packaging. So just always bear that in mind for MF sellers. And that's the blue line that you can see. It will show you the BSR, which is the green line. And the little pink diamonds will show you where the buy box has been. So you can straight away see what's happening on the listing as you learn to analyze these. So you can change the listing in terms of the days you want to look at. So you can click along here and change your view of the deal. So it gives you lots of different ways to look at things. And you can switch some of these off if you're not particularly interested in one or whatever you're not interested in. You can switch those off and have a look at just the information that you're interested in. So you can see that if, as well as you come along the line, BuyBotPro will give you all the information in a little box as well. Now, if you don't know how to analyze one of these charts, a couple of quick tips is the lower and the faster the green line is, that is the seller rank. So every drop is at least one sale. So you can see that here it's been selling super fast. Here it's selling a little bit slower. It's still a fast selling product, but it's selling a little bit slower than it was when it was down here, which is obviously in the lead up to the holidays. So that was here and there was lots of sales there. It's selling a little bit slower now, but it's still selling very fast. It's a very good selling product. And you can look along here and you can hover over and see the buy box price. And you can see who's got the buy box and who hasn't, because you can see the buy box price and you can check out the Amazon prices, the FBA prices, etc. As I say, these big yellow blocks are when Amazon are in stock, so you can very quickly see how often Amazon is in stock. Now, if we come down a little bit more, this gives you a new offer count. So this tells you how many sellers are on the listing, basically. And you can see it change as you go through the graph. You can see it going higher and coming down lower now because people sold out of some of their stock, I guess, up to the holidays. And you can see that there's currently 53 sellers in that little box at the bottom, you can see. Now over here, there was 82. So you can see what's happening with the number of sellers. And you can always toggle any of these charts on or off here if there's information that you're not interested in specifically. Now, this is a sales heat map. This is totally unique to BuyBotPro. There's not anything else like it. And basically, you know, when you've got a weather forecast, and and when it's really intense, it's dark, and when it's slightly lighter, it's not quite as hot, and all of that. So that's how basically the sales heat map. So basically, we've taken the idea of the weather map, if you like, and turned it into a sales map. So this is showing you where the intense sales are on certain periods, and where they're slightly less intense, and where there's been a day or two or whatever with way less sales. So you can see at a glance here, without even being able to read one of these, what's going on with the sales. So that's super easy for beginners to learn as well, because straight away you can see, the redder it is and the darker the red it is, the quicker it's selling. When it's orange, it's slightly less. When it's white, it's a bit less again. It's very, very quick and easy to see. And what you've got up here is the ability, if you want to overlay that on the top of the normal chart. So you can see that that's all red. You can see the white lines here where there's not been as many sales, and you can see where it's getting a little bit less here. So you can see exactly what's happened on this chart over here if you want to use the overlay, or you can switch it off if you prefer to keep the two charts separate. Okay, let's keep going. So these are average charts. So this is giving you the average of the FBA price over the different periods, the Amazon price, the BSR, and the new offer count. So you can see actually they're all very stable. It's interesting to always look at these, because sometimes you can see the prices massively changing, and that obviously indicates that you need to pay very close attention to the price that you're thinking you're going to sell the product for. Because if these change dramatically, then that's going to affect your ability to sell at a higher price. So these are great to have a look at, see how consistent the price is, how consistent the BSR is, how consistent the number of sellers are. And here you've got like all the rest, that's just the rest of the charts. So you've got the new price and the buy box average price. You've got all the information that you need there on the average charts. And once again, you've got a little toggle here that you can use to switch it off if you want to. So down here, our last chart, this is looking at stock levels, because some people like to read data in data format. Some people like to look at, see it more visually. So you can see that, what the sellers are, the top 10 sellers and their stock levels. So you can see that one's got the most at 78. And you can come down here and see this person's got 2, this person's got 1, 10. So you can see the stock levels in comparison to the price of the seller. And once again, you can turn this on and off if you want to. Now this is the BuyBotPro island, which you can switch on and off as we talked about from here. So you don't have to have it here if you don't want it here. But this just basically takes out all the key information out of BuyBotPro and puts it right bang front and center for you. So you've got your profit, your ROI, your BSR, your estimated sales, whether you're eligible, whether it's Hazmat, the IP radar, and your BuyBotPro score. So it's kind of the really key sales information that you need front and center for you. We've also put a little calculator in here, which will give you the chance to work out the ROI versus the sales price. So if you particularly wanted to get 200% ROI, then it's going to tell you that you need a sale price of £40.09. So then you can decide whether you could then change that to £40.09 and ask BuyBotPro to reanalyze it for you, and it will tell you whether it thinks that's viable or not. Or you can go down here and have a look at the chart and see if you think that is a viable price or not. Okay, so that's the BuyBotPro island. Let's come down here and let me now talk you through this VA toolbox. So the VA toolbox is if you have VAs working with you and you want to be able to monitor what they are doing, because it's great to have that information, but it's also great to have them be able to store all their deals and such like for you. And what you get with this is a completely separate tab to log into. And this is as the client, this is your area of the VA manager. So you can have a look at how many deals your VAs are finding, how much work they've been doing, the screenshots of what websites they've been to, and everything you need. So let's go through and have a look. Okay, so this is just the dashboard, this area here. And we refresh it and get all the information in. So this is just a test account. This isn't a real account, it's just a test account. So you can see that Liz has been super busy and she's found the most deals. So Liz is the best VA for sure. Sally's found 3 and Stuart found 1. And then you've got work time over here. You can see that Sally's worked the most amount of time. Liz worked a bit less and Stuart a bit less than that. And then you've got the deals that they've found here as well. So you can keep your deals in here. And you've got your ASIN and your buy price, your sell price, your BuyBotPro score, and the date of when they found it. These are all a little bit old because this is just a test account. So that gives you all that information. You can click here and it will take you to the Amazon page so you can have a look at their deals as well. If we come along here, you can have a look at their time logs. So you can see when they started work, how many deals they found, how long they were online for. So you can get all that information from in here. You can click here and see all their deals. You can see that Liz found that deal, the buy price or sell price, BuyBotPro score. So you can go through here very easily and check what deals you want to buy. You can click there to go to the Amazon page, or you can click there and it will take you to your Google Sheets page. So you can have a look at the deal in there. Then you've got screenshots. So BuyBotPro will take a picture every so often of your VA's screen so that you can make sure that they're doing what they're supposed to be doing and working and covering the right sites that you want covered for you. So you can just have a look at all of those, or just Lizzie's or just Sally's, whatever it is that you want to have a look at. This is where you control your virtual assistants. So you give them you use their email and you've got a time. It tells you their deals, their screenshots. This is all the totals. It tells you when they last submitted one, whether they're active or not. And then you can click here and make them active or cancel them or get rid of them or whatever it is that you want to do with your VAs. And obviously only VAs that you've got access, you've approved in here can access your VA manager. You've got your BuyBotPro settings in there and normal settings in there. So you've got in here, you've got your BuyBotPro settings. So you can see at the front of BuyBotPro, you see these deal criteria here. You can change this daily if you want to, depending on what you want for your deal criteria, or you can just leave this here and your VA can see, right, so I'm looking for deals that are, top 4% BSR, £3 or $3 profit, 30% ROI and 40% BuyBotPro score. So it's a reminder for your VAs of what they're looking for, and you can control that information from here. And that's just your settings page, giving your name and email and such like. And so this is just a test account that we use. And then you can change your password in there. Okay, so that's how the VA manager works. From a point of view of a VA, what they would do is they log in and when they start work, they click start. And you can see that it's now monitoring that VA. So BuyBotPro will now start taking the photos and monitoring what the VA does. The VA can analyse a deal with BuyBotPro and then click Submit Deal when they found a deal that you want. Then they can keep working, and then when they finish their shift, they click Finish. And that all gets recorded and entered into this area for you. Then you can just click Finish. And that's the end of their shift, but they can keep clicking on all those submit deals while they are working. And down here you can see who is logged in, which this is logged into a VA account, as you saw, Lizzie's one. And BuyBotPro is licensed for 5 devices. So you can have it on your PC and your laptop and 3 VAs, for instance. That's all included within your BuyBotPro subscription. And here is a VA manager login. So if you forget, that's just the link to go to this, so you can log in for that. And if you want to think about getting a VA, then that's some free outsourcing training. The first few videos are free. There's an option to go into more depth if you wanted to, but it talks about how to recruit VAs and such like, which hopefully you may found helpful. Okay, now, as well as all of that, BuyBotPro also has the ability to help you manually source. So let me show you that and share that with you now. So let's say I've gone to Argos or Walmart or wherever I've gone, you know, I'm manually sourcing, I'm looking for deals. So what you can do is you can come here, you can highlight the name of the product, you right click, it comes up with BuyBotPro here. And you can search on amazon.com.co.uk and all the European areas as well. So let's click that. So BuyBotPro is now kicking into place and it's looking for this product on Amazon for you. So it's giving you all the pictures of what it's found, it's giving you the ASINs, it's giving you the price, it's giving you everything that it has found. So you can click here and look at different marketplaces if you want to, and it will give you the same information in different marketplaces. Now you can click here and go to the Amazon page if you want to, and then obviously you can analyse a deal just as I've shown you already, or you can click here and you can analyse it with BuyBotPro on the page of the retailer. So just the same way as you would anywhere else. Obviously this isn't a deal because it's £17 in Argos and it's £17 on Amazon, so it's no deal. But let's just pretend this says £2 just for the sake of this demonstration. Then you can analyse the product, and BuyBotPro will analyse it for you and say, yeah, we think it's a good deal, it's worth checking out. If you want to look at the graphs, you can click Show Graphs and it will open it up for you in another window, and you can look at all the BuyBotPro graphs too. And you can look at every single marketplace, makes it super easy if you're selling in other marketplaces too. And you can see the price in euros or in dollars, of course, if you're on Amazon.com. So that's a brilliant, brilliant new feature, which is, you know, it's quite new into BuyBotPro, and we're super excited about it because it gives you the chance to manually source and makes finding deals much, much quicker. So BuyBotPro is, you know, the world's best analyzer. It analyzes that deal like no other software can. And as well, it helps you manually source your deals. So I hope you enjoyed that example of BuyBotPro and how BuyBotPro works.